Imagine you wake up not in your tiny bedroom, but in a grand mansion, Mannat. You're lying on a circular velvet bed, same as Om Shanti Om. Brands wait for your signing, not because of your talent, but because of your surname. You haven't spoken a word yet, but the world is already listening. You're Shah Rukh Khan's child, born not just into money, but into power, popularity, legacy, and security. Now, ask yourself honestly, would you not use it? Would you throw it all away in the name of fairness? Or would you call it destiny? Namaste, namaste, namaste. I, ANAYA Singh Raghuvanshi, welcome you all to a brand new video. It's been gloomy all day, and I was waiting for the sun to appear. Now it is there, but it's not hitting right on my window. You guys really liked when I talked about pretty privilege. And it's a social issue, right? People have opinions. You can have different opinion than mine. And this is why I make these videos. Not just because to express what I think, but also to spark conversation, to let you also speak up what you think about certain thing. And reading upon the comment section, I realized that I succeeded in what I wanted. This is exactly what was happening. I was not pissed that people were fighting, oh, pretty privilege is real, oh, pretty privilege is not. It is completely your opinion. But what I was happy about, getting comments. Just kidding. Engagement is definitely a part of that, but it was how people are actually using their brain cells and writing the comments. And the comment section is itself a gem because people are writing paragraphs on that. So I thought that you guys are loving the social issue topics. And since I talked about pretty privilege, let's also dive deeper and talk about some more privileges. And one of those privileges is nepotism. In this real world, when someone gets something just because of their surname, is called nepotism. And people hate it. They call it toxic, they call it unfair, or even criminal. But is it really that simple? Bollywood, politics, and corporate did it dirty. Let's dive in. Let's define nepotism and really break down it and understand it from basics. What does it mean? It means giving opportunity to family or close ones. But opportunity is not equal to success. But even a star kid has to deliver to survive in this competitive world. Nepotism might open the doors for you, but the audience, the world decides whether you will stay in that room or not. Privilege is not same as guaranteed success. And honestly, nepotism is not the problem. Lack of skill is. And it just means about using connections, but isn't about always stealing opportunity. And it's equal to like trust. You trust your family in high stake decisions like family or legacy. Let's take an example. If I'm searching for a video editor and if I get a random mail that, hey Anaya, I'm a video editor, I can edit your videos and these are my charges and this and that, like this, these are my past work or my resume. And wherein a friend came in picture and she's like, Anaya, I'm starting video editing, but I don't know. And I can really help you with your YouTube channel and I would also gain some experience. So who do you think I would choose? That random stranger that I just got an anonymous email from or my friend? Exactly. I would choose my friend because I have trust on that person. That is nepotism. You choose the people that you are already in a connection with or already someone you know knows Nep so that there's a level of trust between both the parties. Now, there's a question for you. Have you seen which parents are the most anxious about their child's future? Which parents sit at night wondering, stressed about their child's future? Will my child get a job? Will they study hard? Will they get this degree? How they're going to do in future? Will they ever get successful? 90, or I should say even 95% of them are government employees. The answer is simple that we will get in later. But whereas in contrast, a businessman, would he worry that much about his child's future? Probably not, because he knows that even after his child doing multiple things and if none of them worked out, they still have a backup plan. They still have something to hop on. They still have that thing that they could run because of their father. Because they don't have to start from zero. Their father has already built something. Whereas in the case of a government employee, you have nothing. Even after years and years of being in service, of providing for the country, for the nation, for the sector that you work in. You leave nothing for your children. You retire with honor, but you leave nothing for your child. No contacts, no position, no system to inherit on. Whereas in that case, you almost have everything. If a child of a government employee has to start from zero, a child of a business owner or an artist or someone influential got the base already. They got the foundation already. Maybe 40%, 50, 60, 70, or even 90 or 100. Now, all they have to do is scale that, learn that skill, whatever that is required, and excel in that. They don't have to build it from the starting. And building something from the scratch, building something from start is actually the pain point, which actually takes a lot of effort. If you plan on starting a business today, it would take you years to just be relevant, to just even build a foundation, to just even set up an office nearby. But if a business is going on from past 2, 3 decades, you would already have the reliable customers. You would already have the right resources. You would already have a team working behind you. That would be so much more easier. The mental peace and the privilege that comes with handing over your own child, your opportunities, connections, or legacy, it's something else. And it's not wrong. Now, let's take real life examples. Virat Kohli's son, a child grown up in cricket stadium with legends around, interacting, training camps. Wouldn't you think he would pick up that? Ambani's kid managing multi-million dollar companies. Star kids already knowing name, fame, branding, media. They're not just lucky, they are prepared. And honestly, talent comes from exposure. And that exposure gives you confidence. And that confidence eventually leads up to your success. We can't blame Virat Kohli's son for having him as his father. It was his privilege. I mean, it might sound really rude and arrogant to think about that, oh, I was born in this family, I was born with the silver spoon, it was my good things. But if you think about it, that child has done nothing wrong or right to be born into that family, nor if it was born into a poor family. But if the child has some privileges, he should acknowledge it completely. Like he owns that. Now, a prince. A prince is raised to rule. Why do you think kings have heirs? Because leadership, authority and politics are taught, not assumed. और एक राजकुमार को राजा ऐसे ही नहीं बना दिया जाता है. वो डे वन से उसी चीज के लिए तैयार हो रहा है. He was born for that. वहीं अगर a peasant from that kingdom and he thinks that I could be the potential king, well, congratulations. If you could go and fight up with the prince, you could have that. And we often hear things like राजा का बेटा राजा नहीं बनना चाहिए. क्यों नहीं बनना चाहिए? That child literally inherits everything. उसने वो battles, उसने वो politics, उसने वो stress अपने घर में देखा है. That child is literally grown for this, for becoming a king one day, not just for anything. और वो प्रिंस शायद वहाँ की स्वीपर से लेके किचन में कितने लोग खाना बना रहे हैं, कौन से सिपाही कहाँ पर खड़े हुए हैं, वो हर चीज को जानता है. Won't you think all of this information would give him a better stand when it comes to being elected as a future king of that kingdom? A peasant might have potential, but he has never been exposed to that life. He might be brave, but he's not prepared for the throne, the responsibilities that comes with it. And honestly, of course, there is a dark side when talentless people get opportunities, not once, not twice, but again and again and again and again. We have seen live examples. When outsiders are blocked, when entitlements breed arrogance, nepotism really becomes dangerous when it replaces merit, but not when it supports actual potential. And honestly, there's a dark side to everything. हर चीज एक्सेस में बुरी होती है. हर चीज अगर जरूरत से ज्यादा करी जाए तो वो नुकसानदायक होती है. सेम एज विद नेपोटिज्म. अगर आपका बच्चा उसकी काबिलियत नहीं रखता है, दैट द थिंग दैट दे आर इनहेरिटिंग, दैट डजंट मीन कि कोई और आके उनकी जगह नहीं ले सकता है. इट इज ऑलवेज द टैलेंट that beats nepotism. It is always the people who genuinely crave for that thing beats it. जो असल में मेहनत करना जानते हैं, जिन्हें वो चीज की हंगर है जो उन्हें चाहिए. And honestly, life unfair है. Life is unfair. आपके पास अगर घर है, आपके पास अगर रहने को कोई जगह है, आपके पास अगर बेसिक चीजें आप खाना खा पा रहे हैं, then it is also a privilege, don't you think? और वहीं अगर कोई इंसान जिसको दिन के 300 रुपए मिल रहे हैं और वो उसमें संतुष्ट है बिकॉज उसको पता है कि आज का खाना हो जाएगा, and he doesn't know about tomorrow or the day after tomorrow or the next week or the next month. You also have some privileges and life is about that. हर कोई equal नहीं हो सकता है. Something for you that is normal can be a luxury for someone else. If you have legs today, you have limbs, you have hands, you can see, you have ears, you can hear anything. Some people don't have that. So don't you think that is also a privilege in some sense? शायद हो सकता है आपके पास मेरे से ज़्यादा कोई प्रिविलेज हो, आप मेरे से ज़्यादा किसी चीज़ में टैलेंटेड हो, या मैं शायद किसी चीज़ में आपसे ज़्यादा टैलेंटेड हूँ। बट दैट डजंट मीन दैट आई वुड स्टार्ट हेटिंग ऑन यू और यू वुड स्टार्ट हेटिंग ऑन मी, बिकॉज एवरी पर्सन हैज सॉर्ट ऑफ डिफरेंट स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ देयर लाइफ। इफ यू आर गेटिंग टू स्टडी टुडे, अगर आपके पास बुक्स हैं, टीचर्स हैं, आप स्कूल जा रहे हैं, आप पढ़ रहे हैं, दैट इज ऑल्सो अ प्रिविलेज, because there are a lot of people, lot of children who wants to study, but they are not being able to because of the financial constraint. They are working at a normal dhaba, they are doing child labor, they are basically doing everything to support their family. They want to study but they don't have time, they don't have schools in their area, they don't have good teachers. You having that, it is also a privilege. And gratitude should meet reality. Life is unfair and no one gets all the fairness. Instead of hating the rich, resenting the rich, ask how you're already richer than many others. And honestly, privilege is relative. A billionaire's son definitely has its own advantages, but so do you in millions. And what we take as normal could be someone's fantasy. We have heard these things, right? But this is how it explains the privilege. It explains everything. And after all, summarizing everything, it's not about nepotism being good or bad. It is about life gives you privileges. If you're smart enough to turn it into your opportunities, you win. And if you don't have that much brain, then you would just waste that thing. If I was Shah Rukh Khan's daughter, I would use it every single day. I would make the best use of it. Because why shouldn't I? And if you would be in that place too, don't you think you would do the same? Of course, we all would do. We all would enjoy the privileges. But that doesn't mean we start hating on everyone who is getting to enjoy privileges, who's getting to enjoy nepotism. I'm just here to provide you a different side, a different aspect of nepotism, which not a lot of people really talk about. You would find thousands of video on YouTube how nepotism is bad, how it is destroying careers, how outsiders are not getting job or work because of it. But tell me honestly, if you would be a son or daughter of a CEO of a multi-million dollar company, won't you use it in your favor? Of course you would. Of course you would. And problem is not in the privilege, it's in abusing that privilege. And it's okay to benefit from the things that you already have born with, until and unless you're not stepping on someone else to rise. Life isn't fair, but it is not supposed to be fair. And honestly, sometimes I think like what you can do is to just build something so that your children don't have to start from zero. We all carry something that we haven't earned. The key is to use it wisely, because you never know when it may get snatched. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. And let me know in the comment section what are your thoughts on nepotism, and is it really that bad, or am I just catfishing? Let's have a chat in the comment section. Till then, take care of yourself and your loved ones. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Jai Shri Ram.